In this video, we're going to establish a penny stock play with exploding revenue. We're going to look at electric vehicle SPACs with now massive potential due to recent news. And also we're going to look at stock market thought of the day. And we're also going to give an Nndm update. So let's go into the video and we'll get right into it to respect your time. If you appreciate the direct approach, then do smash that like button to really help out the channel. It really does support the channel. Let's get right into it. So first of all, we've got light in the box, and you've heard me talk about this one before, but there's a reason why I keep talking about it. And thankfully, with the recent correction that's been going on, or the mini correction, whatever you want to call it, this has had a dip, okay? This has had a good dip, which is presenting a good buying opportunity to actually start a position or at least expand your position. Recently, I decided to expand my position on this stock, because I think that it's a revenue generating machine. What do? It's an e-commerce website, Chinese e-commerce website, and they are selling a range of goods, and I see it as it's a very interesting play because it is a growing industry, e-commerce. I think that it's actually growing its revenue massively, okay? And I think it's got a lot of potential. I mean, I've talked about this before in previous videos. Go check those out if you want a more in-depth analysis. This is just a quick put this on your radar. So it's LITB is the ticker symbol for this, LITB, light in the box. It's at $4. Its recent highs were actually at $5.69. It's come back down, and I think it's starting to get to a buy zone. If you catch this anywhere in the $3, I would see this as a buying opportunity, and I do think that this should be eventually a $6 to $8 stock very, very easily, and beyond that as well. I think that, you know, in the longer term this will surpass $10. So again, this is a penny stock for a long-term hold. Now, before we move on to the other players, do turn on the notification. And again, I've got to say, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a business teacher in my daily life, but I'm by no means an expert on the stock market. Hit the notification bell. Let me know in the comment section down below if you've joined the notification army, and smash the like button so we can smash the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for all the support on the channel. Moving in, we've got CIIG, okay, Arrival. Now, I think this is now becoming an interesting player because you've had what's happened to Workhorse, okay, in terms of not getting that contract. I think Workhorse is significantly weaker now as a company, and I think that their competition could see a bump in share price because of that. Because if their competition's getting weaker, then it means that they have got a lot of opportunity themselves. So I do think that there's going to be a bump in share price on some of the other B2B, business to business players in the electric vehicle industry, and one of them is CIIG. And I really, really like this company, okay? They're creating electric vehicle vans and buses as well. So, and again, there is going to be a significant shift to electric buses as well as vans, okay? Now, they also have this mini factories that they have here. So they're called micro factories, okay? And what I like about this factor is the low costs, okay? The fast time to build these and the low cost. Say, for example, they get an order in, okay? Well, they can build these mini factories and the processes involved with these mini factories very fast. They can scale it up very fast. And of course, the EV industry and the demand for EVs is going to go through the roof. So them having that capacity to be able to scale up their operations is incredibly important. And in addition to that, you know, they're able to do it in an efficient way. So they're able to produce the vehicles in an efficient way. I'm actually really liking this stock. I've held this one for a long time, okay? And I've held it through its dips and its upward trends. This one is a long-term hold. This one seems like an incredible company, in my opinion, okay? Now, it's at $25.10, okay? And it has had a bit of a dip in recent times. It was at close to near $30 or over $30 in the past few days. Well, in the past week, shall we say. But then it's actually moved down a lot because of the recent correction, okay? But now it's starting to make a move upwards, and also after hours. And I think what we're starting to see is this EV pivot. We're seeing an EV pivot from Workhorse, a B2B EV player, into other business-to-business EV players. And I think it might be good potentially for a swing trade, but I really recommend, or I can only say what I'm doing, I can't say what you do, I'm not a financial advisor. I would say that this one is good for a long-term hold, so not necessarily a swing trade, but I could see the price of these going up because of that pivot to these other EV players that could be now be seen more stronger than what it currently used to be because of the competition getting weaker by not getting the contracts. Now, Workhorse still has potential. Just because they didn't get this contract, it's not a be-all and end-all situation. They do have potential, but right now, I do think that some of these other players have been starting to look very attractive indeed. And the ticker symbol for that, I've got that wrong before, I do apologise. It's CIIC. Okay, ticker symbol. Look into this, but it's CIIG Merger Corp, CIIC. So Arrival merging with CIIG. Okay, the next one is unknown, or is not well as known, right? We've got Last Mile Electric, ticker symbol FIII. Okay, this is for a merger group, and they're merging with Last Mile Electric. Now, the 52-week high, it was in sort of January, just late January sort of time there, and it was $15.30. Okay, and it's moved down a lot to $10.90, and it's been on even further dip because of what's been going on recently. This is getting to an incredibly cheap price. So, as we know, a special acquisition has a $10 floor. So the upside on this one is considerable compared to its downside. Okay, so Last Mile Electric, again, is electric vehicle play. Consider this one, look into it, research into it. It's at its floor almost, so it's got a lot of upside. Even if it goes up to $15, you have made a significant amount when it's at $10.90. Okay, now the next thing is Nano Dimensions. Of course, this is recent, but I do want to mention this in relation to the share price. So it's had a direct offering, but this was on the 18th, of course. But this is at $12.80. Okay, for 500 million, and it's at 11.82. And I think that, you know, this is one of these players that is going to get back to its highs of $17, $18, and it's going to go beyond 20, in my opinion. So I think that there's been a lot of profit taking, and there's been a massive overreaction with this one. Okay, and I think that if you can catch this anywhere around that $10 range, I mean, even at this price, but especially if it gets to that $10 range, that to me is a potential buying opportunity to either load up more shares and average up, because we've been talking about Nndm since like $6 on this channel. We saw the potential in it. So it may be a case of averaging up, but I would look at this and think if it goes to, keeps kind of dipping to that level of $10 or $10.50 around there, it may be a potential one to load up in. Now, the stock thought of the day, that is strategic, right? So you've got to have a strategy with what you're doing. So again, this is my strategy. What am I doing? I'm looking at penny stock plays in these market volatile times, volatility times in terms of the market. I'm looking for penny stock plays that have explosive revenue, but are taking a slide down, because I know in the long term they're going to do really well, because they're exploding the revenue and they can just invest and build that revenue further. So I'm looking for those safer penny stock plays that with really good levels of revenue. So that's what I'm doing, at trying to get a discount, because I know I'm holding those long. So that's where I'm doing that. But then I'm also trying to have this pivot. You've got this EV pivot, right, into potentially other business-to-business EV players. So I'm looking at and assessing that, and I'm watching that closely to see what I want to do about that. Again, you don't have to rush into decisions, but just kind of be aware of them, right? So that's what I'm looking at there. So again, you've got to think about your strategy. What is it that you're spotting? What is it that you're seeing, you know, that you are going to kind of pivot into, whether it's a stock buying opportunity, whether it's that you think, oh, wait a minute, I don't have enough exposure to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was going down at one point. I haven't checked it a lot recently. So it may be like, well, I haven't had exposure to Bitcoin yet, and I've been wanting to get some Bitcoin mining plays. We see them crashing, let's get in. You know, so you got to figure out what you want to do, and what strategy you want to go by, and maybe this is an opportunity as this correction happens to get more exposure into an industry that you wanted to get exposure into, but you haven't had the opportunity to yet. And then kind of balance your portfolio based upon different industries. So your gambling industry, your banking, your finance, your EV, your tech, whatever it is, right? And kind of balance it around there, okay? And it's a good opportunity to really kind of balance that, because you've got, as long as you've got the buying power, you can buy these stocks on the cheap as this correction happens. The strategic elements always win. The more strategic you are, the better you're going to be. And that's the way I want to end this video, okay? So smash the like button if that was useful to you. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let me know in the comment section down below, have you joined the notification army? And I will see everybody in the next video.